So if you're listening to this, chances are you're that learner we're talking about. You're past the absolute beginner stuff. You've got a decent amount of vocabulary. You understand the grammar. Maybe you can even read pretty complex articles.
Right, you've put in the hours.
Exactly. But then it comes time to actually speak. And bam, you hit this wall. You want stuff that works, like really works, and fast. So you can stop studying English and just, use it naturally.
It's probably the single most common frustration for intermediate speakers, isn't it? We actually have a term for it we often use, brain buffering.
Brain buffering, I like that.
Yeah, it's that little pause, that millisecond, or sometimes it feels like a full couple of seconds where you're mentally translating everything. You hear English. Okay, switch to native language, process. Okay, think up the perfect response.
The elegant, witty response.
Exactly. And then you try and translate that back into English.
And by then, the moment's gone. It just leads to this, immediate conversational collapse.
Totally. You lose the flow. You feel awkward. Your confidence just tanks.
And inside your head, it's flashing that little loading sign. Please wait. Loading English sentence.
Uh-huh.
And that difference, knowing English versus actually thinking in English, that's everything. It's fluency versus, constant friction.
And our sources really back this up. The struggle usually isn't about not knowing enough words or grammar even. It's about how fast you can retrieve them.
Right.
And it's about breaking that deep, deep habit of translation. So that's our mission today in this deep dive. We're going to look at real strategies, stuff based on how language acquisition actually works.
Okay.
To train your brain. Train it to stop translating and start getting that automaticity.
Automaticity. That sounds like the goal. So we're not talking about little tricks or hacks here.
No, not quick fixes. This is about genuine brain training, like building a muscle.
Okay.
And the sources we looked at, they offered this really clear, pretty powerful framework for getting there. It's very approachable.
And the goal is simple, right? The word, the phrase, it just comes out without that whole three-step translation detour.
Exactly. And the framework they use, it applies to learning pretty much any complex skill, actually. Think about learning to drive or play an instrument.
Or cook or dance.
Right. They break it down into two phases, but they're not really separate. They're like two sides of the same coin. You need both. Input and output.
Put and output. Okay, simple enough. So we're calling them English in and English out for today.
Sounds good.
So phase one is absorb English in. And this is key. You got to let go of the pressure to speak right away. Think of your brain less like a computer you're stuffing data into and more like a sponge.
A sponge.
Yeah. Your main job here is just soak it up. Soak up English. Listening, watching, reading, just pure, hopefully enjoyable absorption.
And that step is critical. You can't skip it. If the sponge is dry, you can't squeeze anything out, right?
Right. No input, no output. Makes sense.
So you get saturated first. Then comes phase two. Apply English out. Once that sponge is full, like really full, bursting with words and rhythms and common phrases, well, it naturally starts to drip. Or, you need to squeeze it. And that's when you speak, you write, you maybe talk to yourself. You actively use what you've taken in.
I love the analogy they use too. Learning is like breathing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Inhale, that's your English in. Exhale, that's English out.
Right.
And you can't just inhale forever, right? You definitely can't produce language if you only absorb. You need both constantly, like a daily rhythm.
And that rhythm, that's what tackles the intermediate learner's big problem because, you've probably spent years inhaling teachers, textbooks, grammar rules.
Oh, yeah. Lots of inhaling.
So now we're focusing on how to do the exhale part effectively, how to use it to get around that translation wall. So let's start at the beginning. How to inhale the smart way. Okay, so this first part, English in, it's really about changing how you interact with English altogether.
Right.
We need to pull it out of the school subject box.
Right, the academic box.
And put it squarely into the daily life box. Because think about it, things we consciously study, like history dates or super complex grammar rules.
Like trying to remember the exact difference between present perfect and past perfect continuous.
Exactly. Or, the source joked about the present perfect progressive passive voice, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Our brains often treat that stuff as like temporary knowledge, high effort, maybe not relevant tomorrow.
Right. And nobody, absolutely nobody, gets fluent by just drilling grammar charts forever.
Yeah.
Those rules are useful for fine-tuning maybe, for precision.
Sure.
But they don't give you speed. Language is alive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not something you just dissect. It's something you have to live with.
Yes, live with it. Bring it into your vibe, as you said.
Yeah, your daily vibe.
And this connects directly to a really important idea from the research, the affective filter.
Affective filter. Okay, what's that?
It's basically your emotional shield. If you're feeling stressed or bored or anxious about making mistakes, that filter goes way up. And when the filter's up, very little of what you're trying to learn actually makes it into your long-term memory. It just bounces off.
I see. So if I force myself to read, I don't know, some super dense academic paper just because it's supposed to be good for my English, but I'm totally bored or intimidated by it, my brain's basically going, nah, not sticking. Delete later.
Pretty much. But flip side, if you're laughing your head off at a comedy show or you're genuinely hooked on a YouTube tutorial about something you love, your filter automatically drops because you're relaxed, you're engaged, dopamine is flowing, and your brain says, ooh, this is good stuff, let's keep this. You retain way more vocabulary, sentence structures, everything, almost without trying.
Effortless retention. That sounds ideal.
It really is. So the experts are clear. Actively seek out enjoyable input because fun isn't just fun, it's a learning accelerant.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Which leads us straight into tip 1, the power of enjoyable input.
Yes.
The main idea is just let English in through stuff you already genuinely enjoy.
Find your joy.
Yeah. If you're obsessed with cooking shows, watch Gordon Ramsay or Jamie Oliver in English. If you love gaming, follow English-speaking streamers. If it's music, dive into the lyrics. Bring English into your world.
And the practical advice here is golden. Watch shows you already know really well.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
Think about it. If you've already seen, say, Friends or The Office or maybe even Peppa Pig with your kids, like, you know the plots inside out in your own language, right? You know the characters, the jokes?
Yeah, pretty much.
So when you switch the audio to English, the input is suddenly like 90% comprehensible. Your brain isn't struggling with what's happening anymore.
It's not juggling plot and language.
Exactly. It can focus entirely on mapping the English sounds to the meaning you already understand. It's a massive shortcut.
That's really smart. What about subtitles? Use them, don't use them?
Good question. The consensus is use them if you need them at first. Absolutely no shame in that. But this is a key nuance.
Okay.
Try, if you can, to use English subtitles, not subtitles in your native language.
Right, because native language subs would just pull you back into translating, wouldn't they?
Precisely. Your eyes go to your native language. Your brain defaults back to translation. English subs force that direct connection. English sound, English text, meaning.
Okay, English audio, English subtitles. Got it.
And the mechanism that makes this so effective is unconscious repetition. Hearing the same phrases, the same sentence structures over and over in meaningful contexts. It builds something called procedural memory.
Procedural memory. Like muscle memory, but for the brain.
Exactly like muscle memory. It's what lets you ride a bike or type without thinking about every single key press. By hearing phrases like, no way, or are you serious, or what's up? Again and again in context, they stop being vocabulary items you have to consciously recall.
And they become like automatic responses.
Yes. They just click into place. They become almost like vocal habits, like those annoying songs that get stuck in your head, you know?
Oh, earworms. Yeah.
Earworms, exactly. Common English phrases can become like earworms. You don't decide to say, you gotta be kidding me. When something unbelievable happens, it just pops out. Because your procedural memory is locked onto the sound pattern and the situation.
Wow. So you're basically tricking your brain into learning without effort, just by enjoying stuff.
It's not even tricking. It's aligning with how our brains are naturally wired to learn language. It mirrors how kids learn their first language, doesn't it?
That's true. They don't get grammar charts and flashcards.
Nope. They watch, they listen, they feel the emotions, they absorb the patterns around them. It's organic, it's immersive, and crucially, it's usually low stress because it's tied to interaction and need.
Okay, this is powerful. So the first challenge for you listening. Yeah. Find one thing, one show, one YouTube channel, one singer, one podcast even, that genuinely makes you smile or sparks your interest.
Just one to start.
And then binge it. Watch it, listen to it, but only in English. Let go of the pressure, trust the process. Your brain, apparently, will do a lot of the heavy lifting like magic.
It really will. Okay, so that covers getting English in through your ears and eyes, through listening and reading enjoyable stuff.
Right.
But now we need to specifically target that translation habit when it comes to the physical world around you, visual input.
Ah, okay. How do we do that?
This method is super effective, especially for people stuck in that intermediate translating rut. It's tip 2, visual English and labeling your world.
Labeling your world sounds literal.
It is. The core idea is to create a direct, instant link between the physical objects you see and touch every single day and the English words for them.
So cutting out the middleman.
Exactly. Cutting out your native language as the intermediary. We're building a neurological shortcut.
Okay, explain how.
Think about what your brain does all day. You walk around your house, your office, outside.
Yeah.
You see things, you recognize them instantly.
Yeah.
Now, if you're translating, you see, say, your refrigerator. Your brain goes, native word for fridge. Then maybe it pulls up the English word fridge or refrigerator. It's like 3 steps. Object, native name, English name.
Okay, I see the delay there.
We want to squash that, collapse it into 1 step. You see the object, your brain immediately fires the English word.
So like I open the actual fridge and just think milk, eggs, butter, juice.
Yes. Or look at your desk right now. Laptop, pen, charger, notes, keyboard. Do it constantly, silently, or even whispering.
Naming things I see in English.
It's like you're putting little virtual sticky notes on everything in your environment, but directly in your brain's language center.
Okay, bypassing the translation index card.
Precisely. You're training for automatic recall, the goal. You see a door, your brain just says door, instantly. No lag, no hesitation.
That makes sense. And the sources mentioned using actual sticky notes too, right?
Oh yeah, that's a great practical boost. Get some bright sticky notes, yellow, pink, whatever stands out, and literally label things.
Like put a note saying mirror on the mirror.
Exactly. Stick one on your pillow, your light switch, the coffee pot, the kettle, the window. Your brain loves patterns, and seeing that physical label on the object every day forces that direct association. It really cements it.
That's a cool, tangible idea.
But it's not just the physical world. The sources also stress doing this digitally, which is huge because how much time do we spend on our phones and computers?
Way too much, probably.
Right. So change your phone's language setting to English.
Ooh, bold move.
It is, but it's powerful. Change the language on your most used apps, too. Google Maps, Instagram, your email, whatever you use constantly.
Why is that so effective?
Because it forces you to navigate menus, understand instructions, read labels, all functionally in English. It's not abstract learning. It's using the language to accomplish tasks. It grounds the vocabulary in real-world actions.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Physical labels, digital immersion.
And then there's the double input technique they talked about, which I love.
Double input.
Yeah. Whenever you label something physically or mentally, or when you see one of your sticky notes, don't just read the word silently. Always, always say the word out loud.
So see the kettle. Read the kettle note and actually say kettle.
Yes. Even just whisper it. This is so often missed, but it's incredibly powerful.
Why? What does saying it add?
Because you're training your brain through 2 channels at once. You get the visual input, seeing the object in the word.
Right.
And you get the auditory and kinesthetic input, hearing the word spoken by you, and feeling your mouth actually form the shape of the word.
Visual and audio physical feedback.
Exactly. The metaphor they used was great. Just looking is like turning on one headlight on a car.
Okay.
Looking and saying it out loud, that's turning on both headlights. You get full brightness learning.
Full brightness learning. I like that.
It makes the memory pathway way stronger, way more robust, and much faster to access later when you need that word in a real conversation.
It's the difference between passively recognizing a word and actively being able to produce it on demand.
Exactly. Deeper connection, less freezing under pressure.
Okay, that's super practical. So, the mini mission for this part, for everyone listening, right now or as soon as you can, pick 5 things you can see, 5 objects.
5.
Label them in your head, point if you want, and say the English name out loud. And maybe, just maybe, be brave and change one digital setting to English today, your phone, maybe just one app.
Great challenge. Okay, so that wraps up the English in phase.
Yeah.
We've filled the sponge, right? With enjoyable stuff, deep connections, context-rich input. We've built a solid foundation of knowledge that's starting to feel a bit more automatic.
The sponge is feeling pretty saturated.
Good, because now we flip the coin. We move to English out. This is where we stop just collecting language and start actively using it. This is how we cement the speed, the fluidity, the thinking in English that we're aiming for, this is where the real magic happens, squeezing that sponge.
Right, the output phase.
Yeah.
And this is where a lot of learners get stuck, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's the make or break point. We see countless students who are amazing listeners. They can watch complex movies, understand lectures.
They've done the end part really well.
Yes, exactly. But they never, or very rarely, push themselves to actually use what they've learned, to speak, to write, to actively produce the language.
And the sources had a pretty stark warning about that, didn't they? Something like,
if you don't use it, you lose it.
yeah.
That one.
And it's true. Our brains are super efficient, maybe too efficient sometimes. If you store information vocabulary, grammar patterns, but never actually retrieve it and use it, especially under a little bit of pressure.
The brain basically concludes, okay, this isn't actually needed for daily survival or function. Let's prune that connection. The pathways just fade.
Wow. So all that hard work absorbing can just disappear.
It can definitely weaken significantly.
Yeah.
And worse, skipping output can lead to something linguists call fossilization.
Fossilization, like getting stuck.
Exactly. It's when certain errors or limitations, or maybe just that reliance on translation, become permanent fixtures in your English.
Yeah.
They fossilize because you never actively challenge yourself to move past them through practice.
So you might understand perfectly, but your speaking just hits a plateau and stays there.
Precisely. You become a fantastic listener, but not a fluent speaker.
Okay, so output is non-negotiable. But it sounds intimidating, like, okay, now go speak perfectly.
But that's the beauty of the strategies we're going to cover. The good news is you don't necessarily need a native speaking partner living next door.
No.
You don't need a formal teacher grading you. You don't have to sign up for expensive conversation classes right away, though those can help later.
Okay, so what do you need?
Mostly, you just need a bit of creativity. And crucially, a willingness to sound. Well, imperfect at first.
Imperfect. Okay, I can manage imperfect.
And remember what the sources said. Your mirror can be your best friend here.
Why the mirror?
Because the mirror never judges. You can practice out loud without any fear of criticism or embarrassment.
Right. Okay, so where do we start with output? What's the first step?
Well, first, let's talk about the biggest mistake people make when they do try to speak.
Which is?
Trying to start way too big, aiming for complexity right out of the gate.
Okay. Like trying to sound like a diplomat immediately.
Exactly. Which brings us to tip 3. Start small, tiny sentences.
Tiny sentences. Lego blocks, right.
Exactly like Lego blocks. The trap is thinking you need to produce these beautiful, grammatically flawless, complex sentences from day one. You know, trying to say something like, the example in the source was great.
What was it?
Something like, I would like to formally express my deepest appreciation for your valuable time and your willingness to listen to my comprehensive proposal.
Whoa. Yeah, okay. Just trying to think that up involves like 5 mental steps.
Right. It's instant brain meltdown. It forces you straight back into that slow, painful translation process because you're trying to build this elaborate structure from scratch.
So what's the alternative?
The solution is, forget elegance for now. Prioritize speed and immediacy. Say what you see, what you feel, or what you are doing right now using the simplest, most direct structure you've absorbed from your English in phase.
So instead of the appreciation speech, maybe just thanks.
Or even simpler, I'm hungry, it's cold today, I need coffee, I like this song, he looks tired.
Just basic subject, verb, object type stuff.
Yes. Why are these tiny sentences so magical? Because they are fast, 2, 3, maybe 4 words, super clear.
Okay.
They don't give your brain time to panic and start translating. They come out quickly, building confidence and reinforcing those basic automatic pathways.
They're like quick wins for your speaking brain.
Exactly. Quick, successful repetitions. And the sources had a great case study, didn't they? Rena?
Oh, yeah, Rena. She was good at reading technical stuff, but froze in meetings.
Well, totally froze. Her speaking was just halting, no rhythm.
So what does she do? This tiny sentence thing?
Yep. She created a tiny daily habit, just 5 minutes every morning before work. She'd stand, maybe by the window, and just say 5 small sentences out loud about what was right there or how she felt.
Like what kind of sentences?
Things like, this is my favorite blue mug, or I'm making tea. Maybe adding a bit more, oops, I forgot the milk again.
Relatable.
Or, the sun is bright today, I should wear my jacket, and maybe finishing with, okay, let's go, I am ready.
So really simple observations. Not exactly Shakespeare.
Not at all, but the impact. The source said her fluency exploded after just a month or so.
Exploded from just 5 sentences.
Yeah, because she did it consistently. She made the act of producing English normal, routine, and low pressure. She was drilling the rapid retrieval of those fixed phrases and simple sentence structures without ever needing her native language as a crutch.
She was building with those Lego blocks, getting really fast at snapping the basic 2x2 brick into place.
Perfectly put. And once you're fast with the small bricks, building bigger things becomes much, much easier later on. So the message is, don't wait to construct the perfect paragraph. Say what's true right now in English using those tiny, solid blocks.
Okay, tiny sentences first. Got it. What's next? How do we build on that?
Well, once you're comfortable firing off those quick, fixed phrases, we need to move towards more continuous flowing thought, but still without the pressure of a conversation partner.
How do we manage that?
This one might sound a little weird to some people, but it is incredibly effective. Tip 4, talk to yourself.
Talk to myself out loud.
Out loud is great if you can, even in a whisper, or just silently inside your head. Narrate your life constantly.
Narrate my life, like a running commentary.
Pretty much. When you're driving, making breakfast, folding laundry, walking down the street, describe what you're doing, what you see, what you're thinking in English.
Okay, why is this so powerful?
Because think about it. If you only practice speaking when you have a real conversation partner or a formal lesson,
Yeah.
how much practice do you actually get each day? Maybe 10 minutes, an hour if you're lucky.
Yeah, not much usually.
Exactly. But if you talk to yourself, practice becomes available anytime, anywhere. There's zero pressure because you're the only audience. No fear of mistakes, no time limit. You can correct yourself, rephrase things. It's infinite practice time.
No pressure, no excuses. I like that.
And here's the really deep neurological benefit. This is how you consciously build an inner voice that operates primarily in English.
An inner voice in English.
Yes, that little voice inside your head that plans your day, comments on things, argues with itself.
Yeah, we all have that.
When that voice starts defaulting to English, when you start thinking, okay, what do I need from the supermarket? Or why did he say that? In English, in your head, without consciously deciding to.
And you've done it.
You've basically bypassed the translation step at the deepest level. You are now genuinely thinking in English. That's the holy grail, really.
Wow. Okay. So narrating my mundane life helps build that inner English voice.
Absolutely. Remember Daniel, the other case study?
Vaguely. What was his issue?
He struggled with conversational flow, lots of ums and ahs, slow speed. So he adopted the walking documentary strategy.
Walking documentary.
Yeah. On his 15-minute walk to work each day, he'd just narrate everything.
Out loud or in his head?
I think he started in his head, then moved to whispering. He'd say things like, okay, waiting at the crosswalk now. Man, this light takes forever. Oh, look at that huge dog. Wait, why is that guy jogging in jeans? That looks so uncomfortable.
Okay, so just random observations again.
Random, imperfect, continuous chatter. He wasn't aiming for perfect grammar. He was aiming for flow. Keeping the English going.
And did it work for Daniel?
According to the source, it worked incredibly well. It rapidly reset his internal language default. He said that when he got into actual conversations later, the words just started coming out like whoosh, no hesitation.
Whoosh.
Because he'd already spent 15 minutes that morning warming up, practicing that continuous formulation and self-correction. He was just activating a pathway he'd already greased.
That's fascinating. Greasing the pathway.
And if talking to yourself feels a bit too abstract or you want some accountability,
yeah.
The sources had a brilliant little bonus tip. Record a 1-minute vlog on your phone every day.
A vlog, like talking to my camera?
Yep. Just open the camera app, hit record, and talk for 60 seconds about your day, how you're feeling, something interesting you saw, something you learned in English, anything.
Why is that helpful? Seems intimidating, too.
It can be at first. But it's powerful for 2 reasons. 1, it forces you to structure your thoughts a bit more than just rambling. 2, you can watch it back. You literally see and hear yourself improving over time. It makes the progress tangible and motivates you to keep going. Plus, it simulates talking to another, even if it's just your phone.
Okay, talking to myself, maybe recording mini vlogs, that covers getting the words out more continuously. But what about sounding? Natural, like a native speaker?
Yes. The sound, the rhythm, the music of the language. Speed and word choice are crucial, but for that real polish, that native-like fluency, you need to nail the flow.
And that's where the next tip comes in, right? The secret weapon.
Exactly. This one is huge for pronunciation, rhythm, and overall fluency. It's tip 5. Shadowing, the secret weapon.
Shadowing. Okay, I've heard of this. It's like repeating, right?
It is, but it's a very specific kind of repeating.
Yeah.
Shadowing means you listen to a piece of native English speech, could be a line from a movie, a bit of a podcast, an ad, anything, and you repeat it back almost immediately, like a split second behind the speaker, like a very fast echo or a really sophisticated parrot.
So not waiting for them to finish the sentence.
Ideally, no. You're speaking almost simultaneously, trying to match their pace exactly.
Wow, that sounds challenging.
It is.
Yeah.
But the goal here isn't just repeating the words correctly, that's part of it, but the deeper goal is to steal the music of English.
Steal the music?
Yeah. Every language has its own melody, right? English has a specific pattern of ups and downs in pitch. Certain words get stressed, others get squished. Words link together in predictable ways. That's the melody of English.
Okay, the rhythm and flow.
Exactly. Shadowing is like targeted oral surgery. It trains your mouth, your tongue, your vocal cords, and your brain to reproduce that melody without thinking about it.
How does it do that specifically? What elements are we copying?
The sources broke it down into 3 key things to focus on when shadowing. First, intonation.
The rise and fall of the voice.
Precisely. Are you asking a question? Showing excitement? Expressing doubt? English uses pitch changes heavily for meaning. Shadowing forces you to mimic those natural contours.
Okay, intonation. What else?
Second, stress patterns. Where does the emphasis fall in a word? Like quote versus reaccord. And crucially, which words get stressed in a sentence?
Right. Usually the important words, the nouns and verbs.
Generally, yes. Content words get stressed. Function words like A, B, the sia often get reduced or unstressed. If you stress every single word equally, you sound very robotic. Shadowing helps you internalize the natural rhythm of English stress.
Stress patterns. Got it. And the third.
Third, and this one is maybe the biggest key to sounding fluent, connected speech or linking sounds.
Ah, how words run together.
Exactly. Native speakers almost never pronounce every single word perfectly distinctly, especially in casual conversation. Sounds get dropped, sounds get changed, words link up smoothly.
Like, did you eat yet becomes, did you eat yet?
Perfect example. Or, want to becomes wanna, going to becomes gonna. Shadowing forces your mouth to practice making those connections, those smooth transitions and reductions automatically.
Okay, so shadowing helps with intonation, stress, and linking. How do we actually do it? Any practical techniques?
Loads. The sources suggested using things like movie trailers. They're short, usually high energy, and packed with emotion.
So play like 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, play a short chunk, maybe 1 or 2 lines, hit pause, then immediately repeat it back, trying to match everything, the speed, the emotion, the pitch, the drama. Don't be afraid to exaggerate.
Be dramatic. Okay.
Or use even shorter content, TikToks, Instagram Reels. Find a 10-second clip with clear speech. Listen once or twice, pause, echo it back instantly. Done. Move to the next one.
Quick bursts of practice.
Yes. Think of it like doing reps at the gym, but for your mouth. Each repetition builds muscle memory in your tongue, lips, and jaw.
Muscle memory for speaking.
Exactly. So what happens when you're in a real conversation later and you need to use a phrase you've shadowed, your mouth, it just knows what to do. It knows the rhythm, the links, the intonation almost automatically.
So it frees up your brain.
Totally. It frees up your conscious mind to focus on what you want to say, the meaning, the message, instead of getting bogged down in the mechanics of pronunciation and rhythm. It helps you find that flow state and stop that brain buffering.
Shadowing sounds like a seriously powerful tool then.
It really is. Probably the fastest way to bridge that gap between understanding English perfectly and actually producing it smoothly and naturally. Start with stuff you find interesting, maybe high energy, and seriously, don't worry about sounding silly when you practice. The more mistakes you make while shadowing, the faster you're actually learning.
Okay. Embrace the silliness. Got it.
Good.
We've covered tiny sentences, talking to yourself, shadowing. Is there one final principle that ties all this together?
Absolutely. There's one golden rule that underpins every single successful strategy we've talked about today, both for input and output.
And that is?
Tip 6. Repeat, repeat, repeat.
Repetition. Sounds maybe a bit boring.
But we need to reframe that. Repetition isn't just mindlessly doing the same thing over. In language learning, repetition is memory consolidation. It's active brain training.
How so?
Every time you repeat something, whether it's listening to the same audio clip, saying the same tiny sentence, shadowing the same line, labeling the same object, you're sending a signal to your brain.
What's a signal?
The signal is, hey, this piece of language, this phrase, this pronunciation pattern, this connection, it's important, it's used frequently, keep it.
So repetition tells the brain, don't prune this pathway.
Exactly. It tells the brain to move that item from your fragile, temporary, short-term memory into your robust, reliable, long-term procedural memory, the place where automatic skills live.
So if I shadow a movie line once, it's just fun.
Fun, maybe a little bit helpful. If you shadow it 3 times, okay, that's practice. But if you shadow it 5, 10, 15 times over a few days, then you start to own it. It becomes part of your active repertoire.
Okay, so deliberate, structured repetition.
Yes. The sources specifically recommend things like watch the same 3-minute YouTube clip twice a day for a whole week. Say those 5 tiny morning sentences 5 times in a row each morning, not just once.
Okay, drilling it in.
Or practice your personal introduction every single day, even if you're not meeting anyone new. Just say it out loud. Hi, my name is Naim. I'm from Place. I work in Field, and I'm currently working on improving my English fluency.
Say it until it's completely smooth.
Until you can say it perfectly without even thinking. Say it with energy, say it with a smile, make it automatic.
So every single repetition strengthens the connection.
Every single one. It moves the language from the I have to think hard about this part of your brain to the I can just do this part. For any learner who wants the fastest, most reliable path to fluency, repetition isn't boring. Repetition is pure power. It's how language gets easier, smoother, stronger, and truly effortless. #outro.
Wow. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground today, from understanding why our brains get stuck translating.
That brain buffering.
All the way to 6, I think, really practical, actionable strategies to break free. And it feels like the core message isn't about finding some magic bullet, is it?
No, definitely not. This whole deep dive, it was never about secret tricks or promising overnight fluency. It's about consistent, small actions, tiny habits, really, but done with intention and, importantly, with care for yourself.
Right. Let's just quickly recap that flow again. It starts with English in, right? Filling the sponge.
Lowering that effective filter by finding stuff you actually enjoy.
Watching, listening, absorbing.
Then actively labeling your world, visually and maybe digitally too, saying the words out loud to build those direct automatic pathways.
Okay, that's the inhale. Then we flip to English out, squeezing the sponge.
Yep. Starting small, with those tiny immediate sentences to build speed and confidence.
Talking to yourself, narrating your life to build that inner English voice.
Using shadowing, that secret weapon, to steal the music, the rhythm, the intonation, the flow.
And underpinning everything.
Repeat, repeat, repeat. Using repetition consciously to train your brain and make it all stick. Cementing it.
Inhale, exhale, input, output. It's a cycle.
It really is. And fluency, as we said, it's not some distant finish line you cross one day. It's much more like a rhythm you develop.
A daily rhythm.
Exactly. Integrating these small steps into your life consistently, bit by bit, brick by brick, as you said earlier with the Lego analogy.
And, just by listening to this, by engaging with these ideas, you've already taken a step. You've shown up. You've proven you're committed to making this change.
Absolutely. So now comes the most important part. Taking action. We have one final direct mission for you. A challenge, if you'll accept it.
Okay, what is it?
Choose one thing, just one single technique or idea from this entire deep dive.
Just one.
Just one to start. And do it today, right now, if possible.
Okay, like what? Give us some options.
Maybe pause this right now, look around, and physically or mentally label 5 objects, saying their names out loud. 5 words. Takes 30 seconds. Or maybe you grab your phone, open the camera, and record that 1-minute vlog. Just talk about this deep dive, how it made you feel. Or maybe you find a movie trailer online, pick one line, and shadow it 5 times in a row, really focusing on matching the rhythm.
One small, concrete action.
Yes. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait for the perfect, quiet moment. Because progress, real progress, starts the moment you decide to act. Right now.
That's a great challenge. Do one thing today.
And as you do that, or as you go about the rest of your day, wherever you are right now, maybe walking, maybe cooking, maybe just sitting there, remember what you're actually doing here.
What's that?
You're not just learning English anymore, like it's some abstract school subject. No. You are actively, systematically training your brain. You are becoming an English speaker.
Becoming an English speaker? That's a powerful shift in perspective.
That is. So keep showing up for yourself. Keep soaking it in. Keep letting it out. That daily rhythm, it really is everything.